Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be casting this game between Stibs here in the blue, very high ranked player 1409 versus you Denobi Denab. Like this name is too hard for me to pronounce, but he's got the Bandit Keith portrait, so that's pretty awesome. But he's in the red at 10:30. The player in the blue is actually playing E-Dragons. Oh, what a surprise, right? Like a really high rated duel is playing E-Dragons, but I mean, if you're going for competitiveness, you can't really blame him for playing that. Player in the red is actually playing Karakuri Geargia, which is still a pretty darn good deck. There might be a reprint coming soon of some of the cards. I know Bure just had a reprint, so a lot of players are actually stoked to play that. Let's go ahead and open up Watchers Chat. My babies. What? Does Acid Golem work with Barrel? I'm not sure what barrel he's talking about. So, he's going to drop a maxi off of Redox. So that can mean that our player in the red might have a bad hand, because usually it's not wise to do that off of just a Redox. Unless you happen to have an OTK combo, you're just setting up for it, like right now, and you just want to set up for your OTK, basically. Maybe you just need like one more card, just any machine, because you need to go for that Machina Fortress. So, since the player in the blue does know that player in the red is playing Geargia's, I think he's hoping to perhaps hit a face-down Geargia armor. I mean, the card's not even that much of a threat. You can make a lot of things and just run over it. So, player in the red does get to draw, and that's nice that the player in the blue is being honest with him and, you know, letting him draw. Because sometimes when you get into really high competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, sometimes players, they technically cheat. I mean, there's cards like Maxi, which you have to draw. It's not an optional effect to draw. But there are things like Dark Souls where, you know, you miss the timing, and if you don't get them at that point, then you just don't ever get them. So there's no go-backsies. But let's see what the player in the blue decides to do, because is he really going to set a face-down card to pop that thing? That's the main question here. If I was the player in the blue, I would have made Colossal Fighter. That is a fantastic card against the whole Geargia deck, because it forces them to make other things like Scrap Dragon. Technically, they can probably still OTK you, but at that point, okay. So he's just going to go ahead and pop. And he's going to take 2,800 points directly. And that can suck sometimes. Like, Geargia Armor can make the difference between winning and losing a game, because a lot of times this card is definitely required to actually pull off your OTKs. An Upstart Goblin, interesting choice. I feel like there's enough good cards in the deck where I don't think you need Upstart Goblin, but technically it does make the deck more consistent. So we'll see if that was a good option for him. He's going to go for a Geargia Arsenal, and he's going to get the effect of Arsenal, and he's going to attribute it to special summon one Geargia monster from his deck in defense position. I don't think he's probably going to go for... He really is going for that. Okay. And then... Oh, it's just a bunch of back row. Okay. I understand that play now. I was trying to think what would be another option for him, but I mean, sometimes if you don't have the explosive play, you just got to play passive. And if the player in the blue is smart, I would probably just pop this and just try to go for an attack. Because giving them the armor effect is honestly too good. Unless you're going to be able to stun. I don't think that the E-Dragons, unless they're playing the different dimension reincarnation build, you can't make Abyss Gaios, which is probably one of the best rank 7 monsters. It's just a little bit difficult to make. Obviously, Big Eye is great, Dracossack is great, but Abyss Gaios, that card wins games by itself. Dracossack and Big Eye don't really stun. They're more just of a threat once they come on board. It's like, oh shoot, what do I do? And usually they just change games. But Gaios is the only card I think that really stuns, other than number 74, Master of Blades, which is also pretty good. But unfortunately, it just doesn't have the attack that it needs. If it had like 2850, it would be so good. So, effect armor. Ooh, that's a really dirty combo. Silver's Cry. So, this guy's actually playing the OCG build. So, there's an OCG deck that's been doing the whole Dragons thing plus this. Ooh, that's dirty. So he's going to activate that Imperial Iron Wall. So that is pretty darn nasty for the E-Dragon player to deal with. But he's going to be taking 5,800 points of damage right now. Obviously, the E-Dragon player cannot banish now, so he's going to be like, I'm kind of sad. And Scrap Dragon already used its effect to pop the armor. So let's see what the I know they're dragon rulers. I still call them E-dragons. Let me know if you guys want me to call them the dragon rulers. I still like to call them the E-dragons because usually it's easier to remember like fire, water, and rather than blaster, tidal, lightning. Okay, so his torrential tribute was super successful right there. I think maybe he was... What was he trying to go for? I didn't think that was a necessary push. He could have just attacked. Ooh, and an end phase Geargia Gear. This card is so freaking good. The only unfortunate part is you have to play this card over here. This card, not so great. This card's pretty awesome. But, yeah. Imperial Ironwall shuts down dragons completely, though. I mean, they gotta use something to get rid of that as quickly as possible. I just don't see it necessary summoning this thing. It just seemed like it was kind of just a bad idea. What was our need to summon Flameful Guard? It's a fire. It works with Blaster to pop things to win. And you gotta get rid of Imperial Ironwall. Unless he's playing the build that also main decks Raikos and Lilas and Charge Light Brigade. It's looking pretty bad for our poor E-Dragon player. But we'll see. You never know. So let's see what he makes. Because player in the blue still technically has 9,000 life points. So, I mean, he's got a lot of options. You know, next turn, hopefully. But although the Imperial Iron Wall is going to be sitting there taunting him. And after that Stardust, I think that it's going to be very difficult for the player in the blue to really do anything. Because obviously our player in the red at this point can play the... Stardust is going to protect this card game. And he's going to probably be able to deal almost 9k. Let's see if he can actually pull it off. Because I'm not sure of his text. I'm not sure if he's playing E-Kelly. I've seen so many different versions of Geargia, Karakuri. I've seen E-Telly builds, I've seen Instant Fusion builds. I've seen it all. Actually, well, I have not seen ZW Karakuri Geargia, so maybe that will be something people try. Because, I mean, I guess you could technically pull off rank 5 monsters. It's a little bit difficult, though. But that's just too much stuff on the board right now. So let's see if that... Is that game? I don't know. I'm bad at math. I know this is... does that? Okay, he took everything. So, like I said, I thought he still had one more turn. So, basically, he's got to draw all 5 Exodia right now. Like, it's going to be near impossible because there's too much on board for a player in the red and the Imperial Iron Wall. And Stars is just going to protect it. So, at that point, that is going to be game. But, oh, another Iron Wall. Oh, and a Needle Ceiling. That's dirty. Man, he's going to dirty him. That's I guess that's his tech card. That card is... I mean, it definitely prevents OTKs, but I don't know if I would... I don't know. It's good against windups, too. But, yeah, that's a pretty dirty card. I'm trying to think how that would really be used. That card seems a little sacky, but, hey, he definitely showed this E-Dragon is what was up, and I'm glad he won, because I always like to root for the deck that's not necessarily as high tier. Unless it's burn. Then it's never rooting for burn. Unless it's some awkward burn deck. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes, signing out.